वंदेगम श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सकगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita. So we are in the 11th chapter. We finished 35 slokas in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So already Arjuna explained about Krishna's universal form, how it looks like. We have understood very, very clearly from the sloka number 15 to 30 in the 11th chapter. In the very beginning, Arjuna asked Krishna to show his universal form. Manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtum iti prabhu yogeshwara. So he was asking Krishna, darshayatmanam avyayam. So I want to see your universal form. Please show me your universal form. Yogeshwara tato metvam darshayatmanam avyayam. So then Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna, the Viswarupa. So, but for that Krishna gave special eyes, divine eyes to Arjuna, so due to which Arjuna could see the universal form. Then he explained how Krishna's universal form looks like. We understood very clearly that with Damstra Karalani, so continuously in the 3 slokas Arjuna was explaining that Krishna's universal form with Damstra Karalani means with horrible teeth, very fearful teeth. That's what Damstra Karalani. And everybody is rushing very fast into Krishna's universal form. And like the rivers are entering into the ocean, or the moths are just flying very dashed into the fire. So like that, everyone is just going inside Krishna's various mouths, different mouths in the universal form. So Aneka means many, Vaktrani, Bahu, Bahuru, Padam, Bahu, everything, arms, bellies, thighs, legs, everything, so many, so mouths, everything. So in the universal form, everyone is rushing very fast. That's what Arjuna could see. And then Arjuna asked Krishna about, who are you? Akyagi me ko bhavan. Explain to me, please explain to me who you are. Ko bhavan. Because I want to know what your mission is. So then Krishna told Arjuna that time I am the time. Kalosmi. Aham kalosmi. Lokakshaya krit pravritto lokan samahartu miha pravritta. So I have come here to destroy all the wells. So I am the great destroyer of the wells. Lokakshaya krit pravritto. So that way we understand from Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is the time. So as time, everything is getting annihilated. As time, everything is getting created and annihilated. So sargepi nopajayante pralaye navyadanticha. So sargepi means it's created and pralaya means it is annihilated. But if you go to Krishna's abode, then we are not disturbed in both cases. But if we are in this material world, then we are always disturbed. In this life itself, we are disturbed. We are disturbed all the time in this life. Everything is temporary in this life. And we are going to lose this life also. We are going to die also. There is no doubt. Nobody can live here. That also we know that. Nobody can live here forever. But if you go to Krishna's abode, then there is no destruction there, no annihilation there. Avyaktoksara ityuktaga tamahuhu paramam gatim yam prapyana nivartante taddama paramam mama. That's what Krishna is giving us the knowledge about his abode. In the 8th chapter we studied. Avyakto akshara ityuktaga tamahuhu paramam gatim. So it is avyakta, unmanifested. Avyakta. Avyakto akshara. So it is always there. Krishna's abode. So that means with our physical, with our senses, material senses, you are not able to see that. That's what it is meant by avyakta. Akshara. So that way Krishna's abode is permanent abode, which is always there. Avyakto akshara ityuktaga tamahuku paramam gati. That is known as the supreme destination. Tam ahuhu paramam gatim. That is called as the supreme destination. That's what Krishna is saying, that avyaktoksara ityuktaga tamahuhu paramam gatim. Yam prapya nanivartante taddama paramam mama. Anyone who comes there, anyone who reaches their place, who achieves their Krishna's abode, yam prapya nanivartante, will not come back to this material world. So that's what yam prapya nanivartante taddama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode. That's what Krishna is saying. Taddama. So that dhamma, that place, my place. So taddama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode. That's what Krishna is saying. So if you go to Krishna's place, we are not going to come back. So we need to go to Krishna's place. How are you going to go to Krishna's place? Paramam mama. Taddama paramam mama. That supreme place is mine. So mine means mama. Mama means mine. My dhamma. That's what paramam mama. So that place is mine. So Krishna's place. If you go to Krishna's place, we are not going to come back here. Yam prapya nanivartante. Anyone who comes there will not come back here to this material world again. Natat bhashayate suryo na sasanko na pavakaha yadgatva nanivartante taddama paramam mama. So the abode of mind is never illumined by sun or moon or fire. Natat bhashayate suryo na sasanko na pavaka. Again Krishna is saying that yadgatva nanivartante taddama paramam mama. In the Krishna is teaching this one in the 15th chapter. In the 15th chapter, 6th sloka. Krishna is teaching us then, if anyone comes to my place, they will not come back here. So, yadgatva na nivartante taddama paramam mama. Yam prapya na nivartante taddama paramam mama. So, if anyone comes to my place, they will not come back to this place again, this material world again. So, we need to go to Krishna's abode. That's what is very important. So, this is a great opportunity we have got. We have to just get this knowledge fully, understand, and then we will be able to go to Krishna's way, Krishna's abode. There is no doubt about it. So in this Bhagavad Gita, we are making continuous progress. We are studying and understanding all the chapters, every sloka, everything is very clear. Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly. We need to realize and understand we are the soul, we are not the body, and we need to act in that consciousness all the time. So if we are able to do that by Krishna's mercy, then we will be able to go to Krishna. So for that, we need to first of all control our mind. And we should give up all our attachments to material sense objects for that. So that means only we can control our mind. If our mind is attached to material sense objects, then we cannot control our mind. So we need to regulate all our activities. So then only we can control our mind. So we have to regulate all our activities. We need to control our mind. We need to, that's what yoga, yukta, everything, dhyana yoga and yukta. We need to regulate all our activities, and we need to plan our life, and everything in a correct way we need to do in our life. So if we plan like that, then only we can go to Krishna as well. Because this is a great opportunity we have got. We cannot lose this opportunity. If you don't want to lose this opportunity, then we have to effectively make use of this human life. Otherwise, we will lose this opportunity. Because this is a great opportunity, excellent opportunity for us to go to Krishna's well. That is our own place. When we go there, we will enjoy there forever. And Krishna has already given us the invitation. Krishna has already has shown us the path to go to him. So we just have to follow this Bhagavad Gita only. So that means we need to study, understand, plan, and we should be able to spend time and every day. And then if we study, then only we can go to Krishna's place. Otherwise, we will be stuck in this material world forever. We may think that I'm very busy. I have a lot of this work or that work. I have to do so many other things. I don't have time to study Bhagavad Gita. I'm very busy and all such things. Life will be busy only here. All the time it will be busy only. Even animals are also very, very busy only. They are not, they also don't have time. They are running here and there. The animals also, they are very busy. So like that, if we feel ourselves very much occupied and very busy, not having time, all those things, we are actually cheating ourselves. Simply we are cheating ourselves, that's it. We cannot let this opportunity go waste. This is, especially now we have got the opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita. We are getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So this cannot be lost. This opportunity cannot be lost just like that. We cannot lose this opportunity. We cannot afford to lose this opportunity. It is possible only by becoming ourselves very serious in this effort and gaining this knowledge and serving Krishna, surrendering unto Krishna, spreading Krishna's message, Bhagavad Gita, everywhere, and chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So all these things are very, very important. Then only we can make use of this opportunity. That means we should be always engaged in the service of the society on the name of Krishna. That is the main thing. So that way we can influence everyone. Like Arjuna. Arjuna fought at the end when Krishna taught him Bhagavad Gita. He fought for the benefit of the world. That is the main thing. Arjuna didn't think about his own family. When he thought about his own family, his own kinsmen, relatives, everything Swajanam. Swajanam means his own kinsman. Dristvemam Swajanam Krishna Yuyutsam Samupastitam Sidanti Mamagatrani Mukam Chaparisusyate Vepatuscha sarire me romahasascha jayate Gandivam sramsate hastat tvakshaiva paridahyate. So when he was able to see all Swajanam, all his own kinsmen, relatives, Dristvemam Swajanam Krishna, while seeing all my kinsmen, relatives assembled here, desiring to fight, Yutsam Samupasthitam, assembled here, desiring to fight. My limbs are quivering, my mouth is drying up, my body is trembling, my hairs are standing on end, my bow, Gandiva, is slipping from my hands, and my skin is burning. That's what Arjuna said. But at the end, he didn't think about his friends, relatives. He didn't see them like that. He was actually fighting for the benefit of this world. Only to protect the righteousness, only to establish the righteousness, to make sure that Dharma prevails. So that is the only reason Arjuna fought, because Krishna wanted him to fight, and Krishna wanted him to fight for the sake of Dharma. Dharmyadi yuddhachreyo nyad kshatriyasya na vidyat. Swadharmamapi chaveksha navikampitum argasi. Dharmyadi yuddhachreyo anyat kshatriyasya na vidyat. So for a Kshatriya, fighting for Dharma, that's what is better. Other than that, there is no other duty. So that way, Arjuna fought for Krishna as a Kshatriya with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So at that time, he didn't think about his kinsmen, his relatives. But he was looking at a big picture for this entire world. So we should also be like that. We should not be just only thinking about our own future, what we will do, all such things. We should just work for the benefit of this world. on the name of Krishna. That's what is very important. So if we want to do like that, then by Krishna's mercy, we will get this knowledge and Krishna will engage us in his service and Krishna will plan everything for us. Because once Krishna knows that we are sincere and we are willing to serve him and we will follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, so then Krishna's causeless mercy, he is going to engage us. That's what is very important. We are going to get a lot of opportunities to make devotees, to serve Krishna. Such opportunities will just come and knock our doors. We just have to desire to please Krishna, to serve Krishna, to serve this society, and to spread Krishna's message. So all such things, that's what is going to happen with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that's what will happen. Even a person who has achieved the Brahman status, Yonta Sukho, Antararamaga, Tathantaga Jyotirevega, Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam, Brahma Bhuto Adhikachadi. So one who is able to find happiness within the self, Yonta Sukho, Antararama, who is able to find happiness within the self, Antasukho, Antararamaga, Tathantaga Jyotirevega, who is able to see light within his self, Tathantaga Jyotirevega. Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam, Brahma Bhuto Adhikachadi. So that yogi will get the Brahma Nirvanam. That yogi will get the Brahma Bhuta platform, Brahma Bhuta Adhikachadi. So while living in this world, while being inside this material body, but conscious wise he achieves that Brahman status, Brahma Bhuto Adhikachadi. But after achieving that status, Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam Risayaga Kshina Kalmasaga Labante Brahma Nirvanam Risayaga Kshina Kalmasaga Chinnadvaito Yada Managa Sarvabhuta Hiterataga. So they will Labante Brahman Nirvanam. After achieving that Brahman Nirvanam, that means they realize that they are the Brahman. Everyone is a Brahman. I am Brahman, you are Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. So after realizing that we are Brahman, we are not this body, we are Brahman. Like a person in India is calling himself as Indian, or from America calling us American, from other places they call like that. So like that, here a person who belongs to Krishna's well, that is Brahman. So that's what we are known as Brahman. So that's what we need to know. Brahmanogi Pradishchalam. So I created that Krishna's abode is created by him. So we belong to Krishna's well. So that's why when we reach that platform, we are known as Brahma Bhuta. So Labante Brahma Nirvanam, Risega Kshina Kalmasaga, Chinnadvaido Yadatmanaga, Sarvabhuta Hiterataha. So they will worship, they will engage in the service of all other living entities. Sarvabhuta Hiterataha, for the benefit of others. So that kind of mindset we should get with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that we should be working for others, not for ourselves. We should bring such a sea change in the society with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's it. So a devotee of Krishna will always work for the benefit of others. So that way Krishna is teaching us in Bhagavad Gita that Yo mam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pasyati tasyagam na pranasyami sachame na pranasyati. One who sees me in everything, one who sees everything in me, for him I am not lost, for me he is not lost. So that way we should be able to see Krishna everywhere, Krishna in everything. So everything in Krishna. So that way we are not going to lose Krishna. We will be with Krishna all the time. All such things are possible only when we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. When we get that love towards Krishna. When we realize and understand that Krishna is the ultimate supreme person. Krishna is the supreme personality of God. When we get that knowledge, then only we will be able to get this kind of realization. That Krishna is ultimate, Krishna is everything. We have to do everything for Krishna's satisfaction. So that's all going to happen by Krishna's mercy when we get this complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So we are in the 18th chapter now. So 11th chapter now. So in the 11th chapter, we've already finished, as I said, 35 slokas. So already Arjuna asked Krishna, who are you? I want to know about your mission. And then Krishna already spoke to Arjuna that time I am the great destroyer of this world. I've come here to destroy everything. So without you, everyone will be destroyed. So you just tasmatva muttista yaso labaswa yato labaswa jitva satru bungswa rajyam samardham maye vaite nigataga purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavya sachan. So everyone is already put into death by my arrangement. You just be the just shoot the arrows. That's it. Nimitta matram. Oh Sabyasachi. Oh, the best shooter of arrows. So you just do your duty. That's it. Already they're killed by my arrangement. That's what we studied. So then in the 34th sloka we studied, Krishna again repeated the same thing, but he said very clearly, Dronam cha bhismam cha jayadradam cha karnam tatanyanapi yoda viran maya khatam stvam jakima vyatista yudhyasva cheta sirane sapatran. So Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, everybody is already killed by my arrangement. They are already killed by me. You just shoot arrows. You don't get disturbed. Jakima Vyatista. You don't get disturbed. Without getting disturbed, you just shoot arrows. So that's what we studied. Then in the sloka number 35 we studied, Sanjaya was speaking. Sanjaya vacham yet chrutva vachanam kesavasya kritanjali vepamanaga kriti namaskritva bhuyayevaga krishnam sagadgadam bita pranamya. So after hearing this from Keshava, so Etachrutva Vachanam Kesavasyam. So Kritanjalir, so with folded hands, Kritanjalir Vepamanagam, while trembling with folded hands. So Arjuna, there is Kriti Arjuna, he Namaskritva Bhuya Eva, he again and again offered his obeisances unto Krishna. Namaskritva Bhuya Eva Krishnam Sagadgadam Bita Pranamyam. So he worshipped. Then he started speaking with a faltering voice. So that's what now we are going to study from today, this sloka number 36, what Arjuna is telling Krishna again. So in the sloka number 36, Arjuna uvacha stane rishikesha tava prakitya jagat pragrishyati anurajyate cha Rakshamsi bhitani diso dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. So Arjuna said, Arjuna vacha, Stane Rishikesha tava prakritya. Tava prakritya means by knowing your glories, by hearing about you, this world, this jagat, this world, they get too much, they're getting attached to you and they're enjoying, they're rejoicing. And they develop attachment, anurajyateja. They develop attached, they are becoming attached to you and they are enjoying just by hearing your name, just by hearing about your glories. Tava prakritya. Tava prakritya means by hearing about by knowing about your glories. So just upon hearing your name, so everybody is enjoying, everybody is getting so much happiness. Rakshamsi bhitani diso dravanti. But the Rakshams, that means the Rakshasas, that is the demons. So they are running in all directions out of fear. Bhitani. Bhitani means fleeing, fearing. So they are out of fear. So they are disodravanti means they are fleeing in all directions. So the demons are fleeing in all directions by hearing your name. So by hearing your name, the whole world rejoices and the demons are fleeing and sarve namasyanti cha siddha sanghaga. So siddha sanghaga means the perfected human beings, the siddhas. So the siddha sanghas. So the group of siddhas, so the perfected who have achieved perfection, siddhi, who have achieved siddhi. So that's what siddhas. So they're worshipping you, they are praying to you. So they are offering their obeisances unto you. So that's what Arjuna is telling, that Arjuna vacha stane rishikesha tava prakritya jagat pragashyati anurajyate cha rakshamsi bhitani diso dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. So by Krishna's cast mercy, we successfully finished this sloka number 36 in the 11th chapter today. Hare Krishna. I'll stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.